Hi. So, hi. Let's try this again. Hello, and welcome to the first of hopefully many videos. My name is Nicola, and I have a small home fragrance business, very small, called Belle Brightly, that I run from home, from my kitchen, and have done for a few years now. I also have a toddler and have just had a baby. So the last few months I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to have time, how to make time, how to be present in all areas. I don't have the answer for that as yet. I thought it would be a good idea, or an idea, to document this next part of my journey as a mum and as a small business owner. And here we are, mainly documenting it to just look back on. Hopefully when I'm thriving, I can look back at how overwhelmed I was. But also, maybe it will be useful to anybody else who either has a small business or wants to start a small business with young children, or without young children, but with anything that very much limits time to work on said small business. Maybe this will be of some interest or some help, or learning from my mistakes. But here we are. And honestly, I have ummed and ahed about this. I had technical issues getting a working camera. This is the fourth camera. Our store had a dodgy batch. Today was hopefully going to be the day that I sat down to talk to you. And I nearly bailed because I don't know what I'm doing. This isn't a tutorial on how to run a business with small children in any way, shape or form. I don't know how to do it. My baby is currently behind the camera having a lovely little nap. Who knows how long that will last? And I think that's the biggest challenge I've found so far, is she's staring. I don't know how long I have. Sometimes I might have a good couple of hours to actually crack on and do some work. Other times be right back. Okay, that wasn't too bad. But the perfect example of what I mean when I say I never know how long I'm going to have. It's figuring it out as we go. By all means, come along for the ride, and we'll see. I've never done this before either, so hopefully it's not too choppy. It will be filmed in little chunks and snippets here and there, like I said, so I will look different a lot probably, and be modelling various levels of stress and overwhelm at the same time. And let's just see. Let's just figure it out together. So, first things first, it is pure chaos. These behind me are pretty much my office / studio, along with my kitchen worktop. I have a market this weekend, my first market back, and it's a new company pretty much right on my doorstep, so that's super duper handy. I will try and remember to film all of that as well. But I'm going to start off with, I think, a bit of a glow up, a business glow up. There's quite a lot I need to sort out. I need to declutter, I need to tidy, I need to reorganize, I need to rebrand, refresh, Let's just get started, shall we? So, welcome to my studio. This is the aftermath of me trying to do some work yesterday evening. I say trying to do some work, I did do some work. Very short-lived, but we move. So these are candles that just need to be finished. They need to be topped, stamped, beveled. Wax marks can go away. General tidy up. Yes, this is my kitchen, and yes, it is hard to run a business out of your kitchen. You seem to have to clear everything away to work, clear everything away to live. It is quite time consuming, but you work with what you've got. I want to work from home. I don't want to go and hire somewhere or go out wherever to do it. I want to be at home. That's the whole point of doing it. So here we are. I have a candle lit. Set the tone. Let's go. Do everything quietly so as not to wake the baby. Pumpkin, because they seem to last forever and I'm not really sure what to do with it, but she can stay. I've just realised that I haven't actually said what my business does. So these are candle refills. So everything is recyclable, sustainable, vegan, cruelty-free, non-toxic. That's basically what I do. There's that little nugget. I need to get better at this. I will link all my info, website, everything down below. If you want to go and have a look, check it out. By all means, feel free to support. That's what I do. Lots of colours, lots of unique, good, strong smells that you want to fill your home with. Smell delicious. I do also make wax melts, although it's not my main product, but at events such as the one I've got this weekend, I do have a pick and mix stand, so that always gets quite a lot of attention. There's lots of smells, you can sort of just take one of each, things like that. So just my these away. Also, how satisfying is this sound? I'm not sure what to do with this. Wait, there we go. I'm not sure what to do with this. I know I'm supposed to wear it, but I'll feel like an idiot. So let me know, if you use these, what do you do with it other than wear it? I guess just hold it, but we'll see. Pom bears, because tell me you have a toddler without telling me you have a toddler. Okay, I think that's me done here for now. I'm not going to attempt to use the heat gun to top the candles. I think that will definitely wake her up, and she's already given me way too much time. I'm not going to get cocky, so I'm going to make a cup of tea and hopefully do a bit of admin maybe till she wakes up, and then maybe we'll get another nap and I can maybe do the candles then. But we will see, we will see. So I've got a little bit longer, I think, so I'm going to fire up the Cricut and get started on branding some jars ready for the market of the weekend. Okay. Okay, let's try again. While she's having a nap, I'm going to try and cook on some Cricut stuff. It has been a little while, but it is still the same day, so I'm counting that as a win. Before I start, I realised I'd briefly show one of my candles, but before I light one, I thought I would properly introduce them. So they are eco-friendly, sustainable, vegan, cruelty-free, tick, 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 all the green ticks. And the idea, it started when I think it was my mum had a candle that had mum on it, and she thought, yeah, it's lovely, it's brilliant, it's great. And she never burnt it because she didn't ever want it to run out, which sparked the idea. I was already making candles at this point. I dabbled, and then that sort of led me down this route. So this isn't a personalised candle, this is just a generic one that I do. You don't have to have them personalised. And the idea is you'd have your name, you'd have whatever, and here are your candle refills. So it says display on the bottom, it's an X display. I'm burning it for me, it's not for sale. And the idea is once it runs out, you just get another refill, pop it in, and off you go again. And that sound, do we want to hear that again? Oh, I mean. So yeah, before I can't light candles, I thought I would just explain a little bit more about what I do. So it's all 100% soy wax, eco wicks. Yeah, that's what I do, really. Any questions, let me know. Like I say, I will leave everything down below so you can go and check it all out. I do make literally everything myself. So like I said, I'm going to sit here, do my Cricutting, so all the branding, all the jars, all the personalisation, I do everything. And I love it. I do love it when I have the time. So let's pop that to one side. This is a birthday cake, by the way, vanilla sponge, and it's amazing, if I do say so myself. While I do this, I thought I would then have a little bit more of a chat about where I'm at, I guess. Obviously I've said I have a small business. I've had my small business officially, I'm on my 3rd year. Unofficially since 2020, 2021. I was not a lockdown beginner, which I know a lot of people did start a small business in there. I'd already just started. I had a foot operation actually while I was bedbound and recovering. That's where my madness began. And I started just testing for a very long time before I plucked up the courage to actually make some candles and take them to a market. And it went from there really. And then I had my son, he's just turned 3. It was when I was on maternity with him that it was kind of a now or never really. I was either going to do it or not. And I did it, and I love it. I do absolutely love it. It's amazing. I love what I do so much when I have the time, which is what I'm here to talk about. So it was working. It was working well. I've got a very supportive husband. I'm very lucky, who not only helps, but has allowed me to do this. I feel like he's given me permission, but you know what I mean. Obviously, we've just had our second baby. And I knew it was going to be a handful, and it is a handful, and that's kind of why I was here to... She's wriggling. I'm looking at a baby monitor in case you wonder what I'm looking at. We will see. I'll get as far as I can. I think the reason I've started this channel is because I watch people with small businesses and I love it. I love studio vlogs. I love all of those sorts of things. I find it really motivating. I find it really inspiring. And I know not all of them are full time. I know some of them are just doing side hobbies, trying to build it up, grow businesses, which I love. I love watching all of that. That being said, realistically, I do not have 8 hours a day to work on a small business. I don't have 4 hours a day. I don't have an hour a day, sometimes, if even that. And I think what I struggle with the most now is how unpredictable that's going to be. So it's not like I even know, okay, I'm going to have an hour this afternoon. What can I do in that hour? It's I can sit down to do something and I'm not complaining in any way, shape or form, but she wakes up or something happens, that's that done. Other times I all of a sudden have this time in front of me that I can then crack on, which if I haven't planned what I'm going to do is then also as frustrating because I spend half as long setting up to do something as it would take me to do it in the first place. So I think it's definitely a juggle, and mum guilt is a real thing, definitely. And I think I know personally, I'm not actually doing any work here, I know personally I've struggled. I'm getting there, but I struggled. Obviously, I love what I do and I want to do both, which I think is where it gets tricky. That's not saying you can't do both. I'm very much going to attempt to do both. I think it's just finding that balance to make sure that I'm present. I don't like being with the kids thinking about work, which, let's be honest, when you have a small business, you never really stop thinking about work. And then when I'm working, I feel guilty because I'm not with the kids. So rather than trying to do that and going backwards and forwards, I'm definitely trying to designate time to one or the other and be fully present in whichever one I'm doing at the time. And I think that's the biggest struggle. And I don't know if I'm the only one who feels like that. If there's any other small business mamas out there, do let me know. I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels like that. I'm sure it's very common. That's what I struggle with, is being present. And I think it's one of those things with a small business that I do really want to grow my business. This is, like I say, officially my third year, and so my first year was very much a test the waters. I got out to lots of markets, some fantastic, some not so fantastic. Met loads of lovely other makers, crafters, but I was out a lot and I was relying on market income a lot, which is fine, but I like the whole reason I started this was to be at home with the kids and just to be at home. I'm a homebody. I know that's a buzzword, but I love being at home. I don't like going outside. So the second year, last year, I was also pregnant. So that did hinder a little bit the amount of markets and things that I could do, especially towards the end of the year. So I focused mainly on online, and it's hard. Online is hard, especially when you've got no confidence. Not confidence, that's the wrong word, that was dramatic. When you aren't used to putting your face on social media, exactly what I'm doing now. I think when you're not used to doing that, it definitely takes a bit of getting used to hyping yourself up, basically. But I want to. I'm getting there. I took part in some online markets last year. Super Seconds as well was a great one. Again, met really lovely people. Focused on that more last year and massively dropped the market. That being said, that was a bit too much the other way for me. I was never going to do Christmas markets. My baby girl was due in November, so it was very much autumn was kind of my cut-off point really for that. I did keep the website open, expecting it to be really slow, and it wasn't very slow. That was a bit of a good stress to have. It was a fantastic stress to have. Luckily, my husband, he had time off as well, so he was around, which meant I could pack some orders and things like that. And what a problem to have. It was fantastic. So this year is very much about finding a balance between the two. The online presence, and just putting myself out there a bit more, I think, and building up my confidence on social media, just moving with the times. I think it's one of those, isn't it? I love watching all these studio vlogs. I love learning about how other people are doing it, and I find it really helpful. And I cannot compare my situation to a lot of people, like I said, mainly just time wise, but I realise that might be something that other people also can't relate to, that they also don't have the time. So again, repetition now, but this might be useful to someone else who also is drowning. So yeah, that's where I'm at. So this year I'm hoping to find a nice balance between markets and online. I have also been accepted into a pretty awesome wholesale platform, which I'll talk about more another time. Again, that's another avenue that I really don't have time for, but I'm gonna find the time. Yeah, that's where we're at. But my situation, like I said, so I have a 3-year-old toddler who is currently at nursery. He goes to nursery 2.5 days a week, so that does give me a little bit of routine in terms of I know I've only got one of them to contend with, and then my daughter is 3 months old, so she's getting there with naps and things like that. Certainly not routine, certainly not consistent. bit hit and miss and things like that. So that's where the windows of work do come and go. So they are coming, but not consistently. So I think my biggest aim short term is to have things organised so that when I do get a pocket of time to work, it's ready to go, and I don't have to then muck about spending goodness how much time setting up, granted, when you run a business from literally your kitchen, there's always going to be an element of setting up, because I can't have candles and stuff all over the kitchen all the time. I do have a giant 16-litre wax melter on the kitchen side, which I'm very fortunate my husband lets me just keep there all the time. It's part of the furniture, so that helps. But I think there's definitely going to be a business glow up going on. Sorry, I realised I looked down there, which I'm not used to doing this yet. Yeah, there's definitely going to be a business glow up series going on in terms of organisation, storage, ease of working. So at the moment I literally do everything myself, which I do love. I absolutely love that. But I print all the admin, all the flyers, all the care cards, all the labels for everything. I print everything myself. Cut a lot of it by hand. Some of it's pre-cut labels that I print onto. Everything except business cards, basically. And I think that is something I would like to maybe look at outsourcing a little bit, not a lot. I still want to do everything myself, everything. There are some, like thank you cards maybe, or just like the business. I think the product labels I like to have control over, because I do quite unique scents, and I do random limited collections, things like that. So I do like quite having control over doing those myself. But there are some labels, like just the general logo labels that I put on boxes, things like that, I could probably outsource. And I don't know, I need to look into the cost of that versus the cost of doing it myself, all the boring stuff, but also be realistic in terms of time. Obviously, how much time is it going to save me, because that's something I really don't have right now. So I'll probably actually do a whole dedicated series for all of that. There's quite a lot I want to do. So branded packaging is another one I want to look at. Like I say, outsourcing some of the printing, level up my market stall stuff, relaunch, rebrand, refresh, whilst keeping everything organised and easy and simple. I'm not going to say minimalist. I'm definitely not a minimalist, but I can aim for that. So I think I should introduce myself a little bit more, actually. My name is Nicola. I am 30 something and married to my husband, Adam. We've been married for nearly 4 years. We have 2 children, 2 very fluffy cats. And prior to what I do now, I actually worked in animal rescue and loved it, absolutely loved it. And then went on to train assistant stock puppies. Assistant stock puppies, 8 weeks to 18 months old. Yes, it is as cute as it sounds. And then pushed this while I was on maternity, like I said. So that's how we've got to where we are now. And I think I love it. I love what I do. I won't say the freedom. It doesn't feel like freedom at the moment. It feels very much like chaos. But that's why I'm doing this, so that anyone else who is also feeling the chaos, freedom is coming, I'm sure, I hope, and we can do it together. But for now, I'm going to enjoy my cold cup of tea, try and get through as many of these as possible, and then crack on with labelling the jars at some point. Who knows when that will be, but I'll see you then. Actually, one more thing. This is the most satisfying part. I need to move you. Hold on. So, this is the most satisfying thing. Oh, my goodness. Good morning. Where has that week gone? It's been pretty busy. I've actually managed to get quite a lot done in terms of work this week. It's been better than normal, I would say. I got quite a lot done at the weekend and had my event on Sunday, which was fantastic, I have to say. It was meant to rain and it held off most of the day. So it was really busy, met lots of lovely people. It was a vegan market, so they're mainly food based, so it's super duper yummy. Yeah, I had a great day. I've now got the aftermath of resorting, restocking, and I actually need to reorder quite a fair amount of supplies and ingredients, things like that, to go forward. And I thought while everything was out would be a good time to start calming the chaos that is behind me and getting to grips with things before I plough everything back in. So that's next on my list. I think I'm going to leave it here for now. I'm not sure how often I'm going to post these videos. The optimist in me says do it every week. The pessimist in me says, who do you think you are? You have no time as it is. Why are you adding to your list? But we'll see. I will do what I can. Hopefully I'll find some sort of rhythm. And yeah, we'll go from there. I'm looking forward to it. I've loved it. It's been really fun and I'm excited to carry on. Thank you so much for watching. If you've stumbled across this video, I'd love you to say hello down below. Let me know your situation, your setup. Do you just like watching these sorts of videos? Do you have a small business yourself? Have you been in my situation? In which case, please let me know your tips and tricks, send help. But for now, I'm going to make a hot drink and go and soak up lots and lots and lots of baby cuddles until moving on to the next thing. And I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye bye.